Welcome to the Courage to Live podcast. My name is Josh Bitsko. I'm a retired police captain out of Las Vegas with 24 years of experience. Currently, I travel the country and teach first responders, law enforcement, and leaders about courage, resilience, and leadership. Today, we're going to talk about how to lead without rank. So, rank specifically in law enforcement or the military means you're in a supervisory position and you have a title in front of your name, like sergeant, lieutenant, captain. I held plenty of different ranks in my time in law enforcement. I was a sergeant, I was a lieutenant, had a couple different positions there. Ended up as a captain over the Las Vegas Strip. I was a captain over our Wellness Bureau and over our South Central Area Command. During my time on the police department, I responded to countless critical incidents. And by critical incident, I mean shootings, barricades, several active shooter incidents, to include the 1 October shooting here in Las Vegas, the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history, and a mass shooting at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas here. And in my experiences, especially on these hot calls, I saw examples of leadership that weren't so good, and I saw amazing examples of leadership. And one of the things that I learned is some of these amazing examples of leaders that stepped up and helped those around them, they weren't people that had rank, but they were leaders. So they didn't have a specific title that empowered them to run a squad or run a station, but they stepped up and led when others weren't, when they needed to. And a perfect example during the 1 October shooting is I want you to imagine that chaos, right? You're at a concert, there's 22,000 people around you. You're going from having fun and having a good time to fully automatic gunfire into the crowd, people dying around you. So it's pure chaos. And your brain sometimes takes some time to catch up to what you're experiencing. So a lot of people are freezing, people are running, screaming, just pure chaos all around you. And as law enforcement or medical, you have to have a coordinated response to get the job done. Be it go and take the shooter out, coordinate medical to get people to the hospital, to triage people, to providing first aid on the scene, to stabilize them, to get them to a hospital. All these things need to happen. And that chaos is can be overwhelming to the people that are there, to the people that are on scene. Well, during that incident, there was an officer, and his name was Steve Hutchison. He was a special events officer that was working in the command post. Now, throughout all of this chaos, I remember hearing his voice, very calm, saying, "The shooting's coming from the Mandalay Bay, and so we need officers to make their way over there." And I remember his voice was extremely calm, even though he was under intense pressure. He didn't have rank, but that helped drive people to get to where they needed to go. Because initially on that event, because of the sounds of the gunfire echoing and the sounds of gunfire coming through the speakers, there was a lot of confusion and a lot of chaos to understand where the shooting was even coming from. But because he was able to maintain his emotions and regulate them and stay calm, he was able to take all the information coming in over the radio, what they were seeing on the cameras, and push that information out in a calm, clear manner. That was a perfect example of somebody that doesn't have a specific rank, they don't have a title, but they're able to step up as a leader. And when I teach my classes and I'm standing in front of hundreds of police officers, I always not only tell that story, but I tell them that you can be the leader that the people around you need, whether that's citizens, whether that's other officers, other first responders, regardless of whether you have stripes on your shirt or brass on your collar. It's about regulating your emotions, knowing what needs to be done, and providing clear, simple direction. And so those are the people that can see the next step and guide others, regardless of the title that they have. But to do that, there's a couple things that you need to um, exhibit to the people around you to step up and be that leader. Because again, leadership is more about how you carry it yourself and not the letters in front of your name. So speaking with clarity, acting with confidence, and showing that you know what needs to be done, that will help other people follow what you need to do. That will help you be the leader that you need to be in that moment. So, informal leaders are worth their weight in gold in any industry. And so if you think about it, you own a business, or you work in the casinos here in Las Vegas, or a trucking company, or something along those lines, knowing that there are people that work for you that other people look towards for leadership, for advice. And those aren't always the people that are the supervisors, but they can definitely impact the outcomes of situations that may arise in those moments. So, understanding that in yourself, understanding that in the people around you, you can capitalize on these informal leaders to help get the job done. And part of that is, let's say you're in an actual leadership position, is recognizing those people that step up in those moments, that overcome obstacles, that do what they need to do to get the job done. Recognizing those informal leaders. Maybe they don't want the title. Maybe they just want to be good at their jobs. So if you're listening to this and you're not in a leadership position, you know, in your professional life, but you're one of those informal leaders, know that you can have an impact on everybody around you. If as long as you are staying calm, giving clear direction. I've even seen these informal leaders nudge their supervisor in the right direction of what needs to get done during a critical incident, and then that supervisor was successful. Whenever I was in a leadership position, I used to always say, when something went well, that was because my people did what they needed to do. And when something went poorly, it was because of me. And I would always take ownership for, you know, even I was the captain over the strip with over 300 people that worked for me. And if something went bad, I would take ownership for that because I felt that that came with my title. And I believed it because I knew that, I didn't give people the clear direction that they need. But when things went well, I knew there was always one of those informal leaders behind what was happening to make sure we were driving action and getting the job done. Yes, from my position, could I give, specific direction on our mission and our goals? Yes, but those informal leaders would step up and make sure the job got done. And I could give you countless examples of when that happened in my time in Las Vegas as a police officer, as a police captain, every position that I had, whether it was investigative, whether it was tactical. Those informal leaders, I saw them in day to day life. So be that person in your industry, and you can listen to my other podcasts. You can learn leadership. You don't always have to have that title and that rank. Thank you for spending time with me today. If you enjoyed the podcast or anything that I talked about, if you can subscribe or recommend it to a friend, it's about having the impact and the reach here. And so thank you for spending the time. Have a good day.